If you're a regular viewer of this channel, that's a little bit weird since I only upload about one video per year. But if you are a regular viewer, you'll know that I've done a couple of unboxing videos, and those videos tend to be a little bit silly. The last one that I did was 5 years ago. That was unboxing a Power Mac G5, used Power Mac G5. It may have involved a CueCat. I don't know. But I wanted to do this unboxing video primarily just because of the presentation value. I was impressed with this CanaKit Raspberry Pi 3 starter kit, and just wanted to show you what's inside. There's going to be no silliness with this video whatsoever. It's going to be a totally straight review. No. So a little bit of background. I own a number of Raspberry Pis. This is the 9th. I've got 2 original Model Bs, a Model B Plus, a Model 2, 3 of them, and this will be the 3rd Model 3, Raspberry Pi 3. And the reason in the beginning was because they were new and different. For the Raspberry Pi 2 and 3, I've been doing work with Ubuntu Linux to get Ubuntu on there. So I tend to have a couple for specific purposes, and then just one for miscellaneous hardware testing. That's what this one is going to be. So what I used to do was I would go to Element 13/Newark directly and order a $35 Raspberry Pi plus shipping, and then I would go and get a power adapter and a case, usually from Adafruit, and those by themselves are pretty cheap, but including shipping they would add up. Usually spend about $75 on everything when all is said and done. And then saw this online, and this is $75, but is available through Amazon, and I can get free shipping for that. So this includes a Raspberry Pi, a power adapter, a case, and actually a lot more. So I'm essentially getting extra stuff for free. Pretty good. Here it is inside. First of all is the Raspberry Pi 3 itself. So inside is instruction manual, quick start guide, the Raspberry Pi itself, and that's it. This is added by CanaKit. It is for me, essentially a free 32 gig SD card, micro SD card, and has Noobs pre-installed on it, so you can get up and running with Raspbian. And the Raspberry Pi 3 itself. The 2.5 amp power supply. The Raspberry Pi 3 is a little bit more power hungry than the 2 or the original, so a 2.4 or 2.5 amp is recommended. And you can always just use a regular micro SD as long as you're using enough juice, but I find it's just easier to use a regular plug-in to micro USB cord. A case. It is a slick but pretty functional black case here. A little bit hard to see on camera, but there are vents at the top, or on the top sides. There's a vent here. It's got cutouts for all the components on the board that pop up. And in addition, it just comes with two little heat sinks for the SoC and the Ethernet controller. And here's the case assembled and the heat sinks applied. Everything is nice and snug. The top goes on like this. And once again, there's decent enough airflow through the side vents and the top vent. A decent HDMI cable, a welcome card, which would be interesting but not notable on its own, but if you flip it over, it's got the layouts for the GPIO pins, so nice handy reference there. And a quick start guide, just a couple pages long, basically saying plug it in, install the SD card, and follow the prompts. And this is interesting. It's not even advertised on the product description page when you ordered this, but comes with it. It's a little micro SD USB card reader. And it is absolutely tiny. Take this off. And usually for these sorts of things you put them in the bottom, but that's not really possible here, so what do you actually do? It turns out that the micro SD port itself is actually in the USB port. So put this in. And then this entire thing just gets inserted like a normal USB port. So this is what you get for $75. If you have most of these components already, obviously you're probably going to be better off just getting the $35 Raspberry Pi by itself. But as I usually like to get a case and a power supply separately for each of these, it's actually a pretty decent value. For me, essentially the SD reader and the HDMI cable are free in this case. It's a pie fight.